あなたは今どこで何をしていますか?
It's the Halloween season! Welcome everybody to my 15 all-time favorite horror anime to watch for the event. My name is Misty /Chronexia, and every year Spooktober is one of the holidays I look forward the most. Unfortunately, there's a finite number of good horror anime out there, and I've covered nearly all of them. I'm pretty happy with this final selection you're about to witness. For newcomers, I'm about to give you some masterpieces you need to see, but for veterans that have been watching anime for years, I'm also tossing in extras that just never got much spotlight despite being excellent. Everyone wins? Except me, because there's always people unhappy with these lists. Before we go in, let me tell you about today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Bookwalker. Bookwalker is a platform that allows you to get legit translation and support the artists who made some of your favorite titles for stupid cheap. Seriously, you can get a whole volume for like $3. And if you use the coupon code MISTY until November 26th, you get $5 off. I mean, I'm not a genius mathematician, but I'm pretty sure you're winning money here. Of course, I won't pay you back the difference if you don't use it, but come on, I mean, it's the best deal you'll see about those. For Halloween, I'm recommending reading the manga Doubt. It's one of my all-time favorite manga who never got an anime adaptation. It's so good. Incredible plot twist, jaw-dropping art, and a story super captivating. But if that's not your cup of tea, don't hesitate to check the link down in the description. It has some of my personal recommendation. But enough dilly-dallying, time to get your anime game on with these 15 titles. One of my first favorite is Another. I think Another is one of the most iconic horror titles. It tends to be the first one people who want to get into the genre go to. The story is about a transfer student who move into a new school and get drawn toward a girl with an eye patch. Suddenly, a lot of the students around him starts to get murdered in the most gruesome way. I mean, taking all bet who would win between a full-fledged teenage girl or an umbrella. There isn't a better show I can see myself recommending for people who just want litters of blood spurting around. It takes a few episodes to set in the atmosphere, but by the time Buddy starts thudding, you'll be peeking through your fingers like a schoolgirl past her bedtime. Number 2, Hellgirl. Now, if on the other hand you have an attraction towards the actual scariness of Halloween instead of just pure gore, this pick might scratch the itch better. Hellgirl is an episodic type of anime where each one is dedicated to a standalone story. The Hellgirl grants a wish to someone, but in exchange they sell their soul to her. She doesn't judge or try to reason with your wish upon revenge. She execute, and then you gotta fork up. If Another was more like Final Destination, this is more your typical deal with the devil. Really great show with over 80 episodes and a brand new stellar season who just finished airing this summer. It makes you feel bad for a lot of the episodes. Enjoy that one.
Ohayo, Ria. Ohayo, Pak. 起きていきなりなんだけど、スバルの体洗ってあげてくれる？当主。
Number 3, ReZero. I can't in good conscience pass this next one up. While a lot of people won't agree it deserves the horror title, I do, and it's my video, and it's a good show, so overruled. One day, Subaru, your average guy, wakes up in a new world. However, anytime he dies, he goes back in time and has another shot at changing the events. Not very horror-like as a start, but the way Subaru gets executed sometimes really has a way to ice your blood. Add to that some supernatural magic, demons, and thrilling fantasy. That's good enough to be worth the tag. The story is also available on Bookwalker if you'd rather read it instead of watching the anime. Remember that sponsor in the beginning? Yeah, you didn't skip it, right? Right? They got both the manga and the light novel available. Thought you'd like to know. Anyway, great story no matter the medium. Number 4, Parasyte the Maxim. Parasyte is one more horror-focused anime that honestly isn't inclined on being scary. Just like ReZero, it's available on Bookwalker, so if you feel like you'd enjoy the manga instead, there's the option. Parasyte story happens in Japan, where a brand new spore-like monster infiltrates some humans and turns them into a slice-and-dice killer machine with no conscience. When Shinichi prevents his brain from being overtaken by a parasite, the parasite settles in his hand instead, and he has to team up with it to destroy fellow parasites. The story on this one is absolutely captivating. However, if I'm being forward, I should probably point out the ending turned somewhat political and philosophical. If that's your jam or a deal breaker, please consider it. Number 5. Umineko and Higurashi. When it comes to the Higurashi franchise, I think everything has been said about it. If you're a fresh blood, Higurashi is kind of an initiation, rite of passage. You need absolute nerves of steel to go through, because a lot of things will make your knees weak, arms heavy, mom's spaghetti. So instead I want to take the occasion to talk about Umineko. Umineko is an alternate universe about a family who reunites on an island. The head of the family is massively rich, but is slowly dying, BT dubs. Anyway, the whole ordeal is turned into a slaughterfest where people starts dying, and the 18 of them need to fight for their lives. Higurashi is quite big, but Umineko should stand out just as much. Also, you guessed it, both Umineko and Higurashi are on Bookwalker too. You know the speech by now. Number 6, Blood-Sea. Now this one might be a little bit of an odd choice. When it comes to story and overall horror, anyone who's seen both Blood-Sea and Blood Plus will tell you Blood Plus is leagues better. So why would I recommend Blood-Sea instead when it's the subpar of the two? Well, personally, and I can't stress that enough, I feel like Blood-Sea has the upper hand in two categories. First off, it's shorter. Not everyone's willing to spend 50 plus episodes on a horror anime when the event's only for one night. Second reason is Blood-Sea is a lot more gore. Like people being split open, eaten alive, it's like watching a train wreck. And extra bonus reason is Blood-Sea is on Bookwalker. I mean, you saw that one coming, come on. Number 7, Elfen Lied. If you've seen Another and Higurashi, you've most likely seen Elfen Lied as well. It's what people consider the, well, can't really say Holy Trinity when it's about horror stuff, so Devil's Trinity of scary anime? Elfen Lied is quite gruesome on its own as well, when you see limbs get slashed off left and right. The story is about Lucy, a girl who was a lab experiment and gained super psychic powers but escaped from the lab. On her way out, she gets bunked on the head and get a massive personality swap. She gets picked off on the shore, and when she wakes up, she doesn't remember anything. She bonds with her new friend while the lab is sent on a frenzy to recover her. It's a pretty meaningful piece. I suggest you try it out if you've been pushing it back. You can clear it in one evening since it's so short. Number 8, Shinsekai Yori. If you still haven't found something to tickle your exact craving for horror, I'm hoping this is the ticket you've been looking for. The story begins in a faraway village where a lot of children attend a school, but one day some of the kids starts to disappear. Add to the plot some psychokinesis and a cocktail of violence and profanity, and you get a really good result. I mean, next to Monster, Hellsing Ultimate, and Parasyte, this is the best rated anime horror of all time. And if that doesn't convince you, I hope the clip will manage to sell it to you better, because it'd be a darn shame to pass next to this one. Number 9, Deadman Wonderland. Ah yes, the wonderful anime that did a massive crash and burn in Japan despite everyone in the West loving it. Deadman Wonderland has a super strong premise. Ganta is an everyday student. One day in class, a mysterious red men show up and murder everyone. I mean everyone. It's just a red paste. Leaving only Ganta as the sole survivor, and he's accused of the murder and is sent to the prison Deadman Wonderland. Which is not really one. That's the joke. Anyway, in this jail, prisoners are forced to wear a deadly necklace that they need to constantly provide for by doing deadly games, or else, the thematic is, yeah, I'm pretty sure you figured they're gonna die. It's a super sadistic anime that is incredible, but doesn't get the proper ending it deserves. Thankfully, the manga did a much better job on the story, and guess what? Once again, you can get it on Bookwalker. It's like they have every cool story available. Number 10, and finally the last of the more common picks on this list, Soul Eater. I don't think there's any other title in the anime community that evokes Halloween as well as Soul Eater does. You got witches, monsters, Frankenstein, ghosts, serial killer, pumpkins, devil, death reaper, spiders, cats wearing witch hat, jagged teeth, and your mother. I mean, if that's not scary, I don't know what is. The story is about student weapon masters who needs to collect 99 soul, and a witch is one. Upon doing so, they get upgraded to death weapon. The anime is a great mix between comedy and action, but it ended before the manga did, so once more for good luck, I can tell you the manga is available on Bookwalker as well. Number 11, Zetman. Now, if I might bring your attention to more underrated titles, I would like to introduce you to Zetman. This anime is a story about two superheroes, kinda. One is a superhuman known as Zet, and the other one is a justice-driven one who fights with technology. No, he's not known as man. They must team up, or rather fight alongside one another against terrible abominations who came to destroy mankind. Think Batman and Iron Man versus a bunch of monsters. No, I know one's from DC and the other one's from Marvel. It's called an analogy, okay? Okay. Forget it. Just watch the clip, you'll see if it's for you or not. It's like a mashup between Gantz and Tiger and Bunny. Is that a better one for you? Number 12, Nighthead Genesis. Here's a small anime I found while digging a few years back. The premise kinda drew my attention and I hope it'll do the same for you. The plot is about a special power buried in the depth of brain. You've heard a speech of how humans only use 10% of their full brain potential. Well, first of all, that's just a urban legend. What's next? Flat earthers are gonna be a thing? Oh, what? They are? Oh, sorry. Anyway, so in this anime, there's a way to tap into the brain capacity, and that is called Nighthead. You don't see me, but I'm doing hair quote as I'm saying that. The anime is a psychic power type. Horror might be a strong word for it, but I had a fun time watching it, and I'm pretty underground for any completionists out there. This might be something worth considering.
さっきまでガタガタ震えてた。
Number 13, Kagewani. Of course, there must be some extra hipster among you viewers who really want something fresh. Well, I'm hoping this is what you're looking for. Kagewani is a short anime, it's 26 episodes, but each of them are like 7 minutes long. I know when it comes to TV shorts, a lot of people are skeptical at how good it can be, but have a little bit of faith on this one. The story is about a video blogger who inflates his views with red circles on his thumbnails, BuzzFeed-like titles, and fake cryptic sightings. But when his crew starts to get slaughtered by a real monster he realizes he might be in too deep, the art style is one of a kind, but I'm hoping this can add to the horrifying setting. Try it at your own risk. Disclaimer, here at Misty Chronexia Company are not responsible for heart attack during scary moments in shows. Thank you for your time.
必ずデザートがモットーだから。
もうこんな時間、昼休み終わってるよ。
Number 14, Yamii no Matsuei. Alright, so 13 picks so far and not much in terms of horror and comedy as a combo. Hopefully this is where your patience gets rewarded. This anime is probably one of the oldest on this list. It came out in 2000. It's a story about a bureaucratic Shinigami, a death of god, very popular in Japanese lore. Remember Bleach? Probably heard of it. Well, the main character in Yamii no Matsuei has been a Shinigami for about 70 years. He normally have a partner, but those doesn't tend to stick around much. Eventually, he gets a new kid called Kurosaki. No, not Ichigo, Hisoka. Yeah, there's some serious ground for litigation if you ask me. But yeah, they have to make sure dad stays dead, and they're also on a chase for a serial killer. Really fun stuff. You might not think much at first, but it really delivers.
死神ですか。こんばんは。可愛いですね。でも、だんだん耐えられなくなってきて。いっそね、ヒロ君のこと。
And finally, number 15, Okami Kakushi. Definitely a soft-spoken anime I've never seen anyone really mention. Based on a visual novel, the story is about a guy moving into a new town. Said town is divided in two parts, old and new. The old one has kind of been put aside, and one could even consider it haunted. But when said main character arrives, he's surprised by how kind everyone is to him. Everyone except the class president, a girl who's remained slightly distant. She warns him to stay away from the old part of town, and what does he do? Yeah, straight up goes in there just like the good protagonist he is. The story has some pretty weak moments, but if you like making fun of something with a friend, this is just what you need. Hope you like it regardless. So I hope this list was a somewhat good enough compilation of my personal favorite horror titles. Again, if I haven't destroyed your ears enough about this, check out today's sponsor, Bookwalker. If you're into manga, they have a humongous library, and if you use the coupon code MISTY until November 26, you can save $5 off. I'm not a hooker, but $5 is $5. And if you don't know where to start, I'll also leave you a list of my personal manga recommendation. I can't stress how good Doubt is. Please take the time to try it out. And if not that one, Deadman Wonderland and Soul Eater are definitely nice follow-up. Anyway, I've overstayed my welcome. I hope you have a spectacular Halloween. Beware of clowns. I believe they're a thing this year. And I'll see you again next week. Until then, be safe. Oh yeah, don't forget to check the candies for Razor Blade or Candy Corn. They're both just as deadly.
Hard times, I've been on the wrong side, I've been ashamed. So many memories, you know I'd like to change.